everyone. Welcome back to High Ground Podcast. Once again, joined by myself and Landon. And without further ado, what are we talking about?
We are talking about Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, which came out 1989. You can tell I'm joined by Nevada Jones right here.
Nevada Jones is crazy. Not even Alabama, bro.
You got a Nevada shirt on?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, I guess it's California.
It is Nevada.
I guess it is California, man. Oh,
Nevada has a better ring to it.
My bad. California Jones.
Nah, I like Nevada Jones.
All right, we're gonna get right into Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. This is another retro review. So yes, it came out in 1989. Like I said, I always like doing ratings and directors and stuff. So it has an 8.2 on IMDb, a 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 4.1 on Letterboxd. Directed by the great Steven Spielberg, starring Harrison Ford. You've probably seen him as Han Solo, and Sean Connery, which you've probably seen him as James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
I learned that like a couple of days ago.
Me too.
Yeah, I was like...
Well, because I saw him like, why does he look so familiar? And then I looked up like what he's been in, and it's just James Bond everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Because like, yeah, I'm used to him being like the old Dr. Jones, right?
Yeah.
And then I like looked up the IMDb. I'm like, that looks like James Bond. I was like,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute. But Zach, tell us your ratings. Do you recommend the movie?
Oh, I highly recommend it.
We recommend the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us your ratings, your thoughts, and just tell us about this movie.
Yeah. So my ratings, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Love the movie. I love all the Indiana Jones movies. Yeah. They're all very good. They're all very unique. And this one was really good. This is definitely one of my favorites. I forgot like how long it's been since I watched it. So when I rewatched it for this, I was like, man, I feel like I'm watching it for the first time again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like in the best way possible. Because there's so many iconic like pop culture lore in this. The infamous library scene where Indiana Jones and Dr. Jones are tied together in the chair, and then they're jumping and trying to get out of the chair. So very, very iconic. In terms of like, I wanted to talk about like how we got exposed to Indiana Jones. So for me, mine is very unique. So it's because of my grandpa, but not even because of the movies. I first learned about Indiana Jones playing the Lego Indiana Jones game.
Bro.
You're joking.
That's in my notes.
No, you're joking. Is that you too? Or are you just...
Oh, that's not what I learned.
Oh, okay, okay.
I learned about him from Crystal Skull. That was my first exposure too.
I thought you were about to say, I was like, bro, do we have the same? like that's
what's this lore?
Yeah, no, that is crazy. But yeah, that is such a good game, by the way. But yeah, so I played that. So there's two Indiana Jones games. Mm-hmm. So I played Lego Indiana Jones 2. I never played the first one, but I played that on the Wii, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. So for the longest time, I thought Crystal Skull was the first movie because in the game, that's what you play first.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also, I was even more confused because they broke it up into part 1, part 2, part 3 in the game. So I thought there was 3 movies just from that. So I was a very confused child. But playing that game, though, and then my grandpa was like, yeah, there's like movies about this. I was like, what? So once again, little Zach was sit down and watched all these movies, just like Karate Kid with my dad. And then there was a whole new world open to me. And I'll never like forget that because it's like the most random thing ever. Like I'm probably like one of the only people that got introduced just from a Lego game. But, yeah, what are some of your thoughts on just Indiana Jones in general?
Yeah, my rating is an 8.8. I think this might be the best Indiana Jones movie. It's not my favorite Indiana Jones movie, but I think it is the best Indiana Jones movie. I mean, from the beginning with the little Indiana Jones lore to the end with the Holy Grail, like everything about this movie is, I think, perfect. You said you got introduced by the Lego game. I got introduced by Crystal Skull because my dad took me to it, and I was like, Sam Witwicky. Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is in it, so I'm like, that's how I got introduced to Indiana Jones. And I was like, I loved Crystal Skull when I was little, but then I grew up, I was like,
it's not the worst.
Yeah, it's not the,
it's there.
And then the whole, whatchamacallit, like the mannequin the whole mannequin scene with the refrigerator and all that. That was creepy, but then it was reminding me of Nuketown.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up, Nuketown. So it's funny too. So kind of, I'm backpedaling a little bit, but to the Lego Indiana Jones game, this was another thing that messed with me as a kid, because in the game, you play that level. It's like a whole level.
Yeah.
And the mannequins come to life.
Yeah.
In the game and like try to attack you. And as a kid, I'm like, that terrified me. So when I watched the movie, I was like on the edge of my seat waiting for the mannequins to like start coming alive, and they never did. And I was like,
yeah,
well, my life's a lie.
Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But
cool
scene. And then I really like the train scene, like in the beginning.
Yes.
Like them running, like man, what's his name? The famous actor from like the 50s, 40s. But yeah, very resembled that guy. I'm a come up with his name by the end of the episode, but I love that entire scene. I thought it was a very beautiful shot. And then I love like hearing him like when he's a kid, and then we obviously hear him say it throughout the entire franchise. That belongs in a museum.
I know. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, he said the thing. Like that's like his line, and yeah, and then yeah, the whole like I love that all the movies kind of like have like Christianese in it.
Yeah.
With the Ark of the Covenant, and was there something in the second movie? I believe.
Which one was that? Was Temple of Doom?
Temple of Doom.
I think probably. Yeah, I'm not thinking of it right now, but they usually mention something with it.
Yeah, and then the Holy Grail, and I just finished watching Chosen season 5, and The Last Supper is a big part of that. So I'm thinking of like Chosen season 5. I'm like, okay, the Holy Grail.
Just to like talk about Jesus in a movie, was really cool, because like even in that time, like that wasn't like the norm. So it kind of like is its own, going against the grain type thing, if you will, which is really cool. That too, it is funny. So when they're like going through, so it's Indiana Jones and Elsa are going through
like the sewer.
Yeah. And then she goes like, points out like, oh, what about this or whatever? Like it's Ark of the Covenant or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes like, yeah, big deal. Just because he already had exposed to that stuff. I was like, that's such a fun Easter egg. Because also, all of the Ark of the Covenant, because it's mentioned in that. And then later in Crystal Skull, we actually see it for a split second.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, because it's like, bro.
Like, it had like a whole like story to it. And
it's just, yeah. Also, I'm just like, how did they get this, bro? Like, didn't he make sure no one would get this? But yeah, it was really cool. So like with Sean Connery playing the dad, I thought, so it's very interesting, because this is the only movie he shows up as the dad.
Yeah.
He's mentioned or referenced later or before in movies, but he's never explicitly shown again. But it is funny because the parallels between father and son are really cool, because you have Indiana Jones, who's terrified of snakes, and his dad's scared of rats.
Yeah.
So it's the little things like that I thought were really cool. Just like, they are very much the same person, just different.
Yeah. I agree. I love his dad. It's so funny. Like after he like scares like the birds into the plane to make the plane crash.
Oh yeah.
And he's walking back with the umbrella, like, what a beautiful day. Like I'm like, dude, I love this guy.
He's so funny. He's just, his whole personality was just awesome.
Yeah. And then can we talk about the beautiful, beautiful score? John Williams, man.
John Williams.
Like every time I hear just that little theme, I'm just like, man, what a movie.
John Williams is like, he's top 5 composer. Like, it's not even an argument. I mean, and just it's so funny too, because I always forget, Lucasfilm had a hand in Indiana Jones. So George Lucas, created Indiana Jones and Star Wars. And it's like you could not be more opposite of like direction of creativity. So it is funny to me, but also it's funny. It's like, so he really likes Harrison Ford. Yeah,
man, I love the whole, because there's always, there's Star Wars theories that go beyond anybody's thought, that like there's theories within theories within theories with Star Wars. So like there's the engraving, which I believe it's in Temple of Doom of R2 and C3PO. So like the theory of like the whole Earth was a part of Star Wars and got casted away, and that's how humans are in Star Wars.
Ooh.
And so like Indiana Jones is part of the Star Wars universe. And then if you want to go deeper in that, we see E.T. species. So like E.T.
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace, yeah. And So that could be like a whole tie-in. I love all the headcanons and theories, but there's a fun little note. And John Williams, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I love the score.
So iconic.
But I love the part, and tell me about this part. In the beginning, he's in class, he's like, X doesn't mark to the spot or anything, just something like that.
Yeah.
And then, like, multiple times in the movie,
he says X marks spot.
X marks spot. I'm like, bro, you just said, like,
you hypocrite.
Yeah.
That's what I always love. Like, I want to know this man's like job. Like, you know what? Like,
yeah.
Let me elaborate. How is he like just the nonchalant professor? You know, and all the kids love him and all that. But does he just take PTO and go do this? Yeah. Like, how is he able to like just, you know, like, it's insane to me, but I love it. It's so funny because it's like, and that's every movie, you know, he's like, it starts off, he's already on his adventure, like with some backstory lore. Then we jump to present day, like he's teaching a class, and then it's like, all right, I'll be back.
Literally, like
what if bro just dies or just tell the class like, yeah, sorry, your professor died in a gunfight with Nazis. Like,
it's like, what?
He what? Yeah, literally, it's like, how do you?
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, dude's really go-to character, just like in all of like film. Like, yeah, he's a professor, but then on the side, he's in a sewer in Venice, taking off a skeleton's arm to use as a torch.
Literally,
what a guy! And
like, he's insane, dude.
And that's just like half of it. That's not even half of it.
Fraction.
That's a fraction
like,
of it.
Barely. But yeah, so this movie, so like, so kind of referencing what I said in the beginning of the episode. I felt like I was watching the movie for the first time again. And with that, there's one iconic scene that is memed so much on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's something that, like, to be honest, I thought it was like a deleted scene or something. I didn't realize this was actually in the movie. But they're in Germany trying to find Elsa and like the book and everything. Indiana Jones gets his dad's book back, running through the crowd. There's Nazis everywhere. And he bumps into Adolf Hitler. And that was just weird.
Gets his autograph too.
Yeah, I was like, I was just in disbelief. I was like, this actually happened. Like,
I feel like when they were making the movie, like writing the script and everything, they're like, okay, we're like in like, it's like where Nazis are happening. Okay, how can we get Hitler in this movie? And that was probably just like,
and it just, like, I wouldn't know whose idea.
Yeah, me too. Like, okay, like,
because George Lucas approved it, mind you. So,
I mean,
unless he came up with it.
I wouldn't be surprised. There is some questionable things in just Star Wars that you're like, George,
what are you thinking?
What were you thinking? Like, the obvious one being Luke and Leia becoming brother and sister, like, after.
The fact it was an afterthought.
Yeah.
Like, bro didn't think about it at the time, but then later goes, you know what? They could be siblings.
And then on top of that, they've done all these, like, remastering of all the originals, and they have not taken that scene out.
Nope.
Not even thought of it.
Like, nah, you gotta keep it.
And then, obviously, like, Slave Leia and all that. It's just, like, there's just moments where you're like, George?
I just want to, honestly, like, if you could interview anyone, I think George Lucas would be such an interesting, like, interview, man. Because it's like, I'd have so many questions, not just about, like, lore about Star Wars or Indiana Jones, but just that. So it's like, what was going through your mind when you filmed this scene?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, you know? But that's not, it is funny because, like, nowadays, like, if they tried to put this movie out now, no shot. Like, cancel culture would not allow that. So
100%.
It's definitely funny. It's just one of those, like, in the time it was made, it wasn't like as controversial, I guess. I mean, it was, you know what I mean? I'm not defending it, but no, it is funny because I saw it and that was the first thing I thought. I was like, bro, I have to mention it. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah.
And then we're definitely at a point in society where it's either like you say something minor and you're just like cooked, or you're like Shane Gillis and you're just like, I don't care. Like, literally. Straight up. And it's like, I mean,
Shane Gillis.
That's where I got the California Jones, Nevada Jones from. So yeah, you got to give him a little credit for that.
I'll never forget.
That's funny. One of my questions was, did you ever play the Indiana Lego games?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. No, so That's something too. I think it was Lego Star Wars 3. So it's one like based off the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
There is a hidden Easter egg in one of the levels where you like open this secret bookshelf and Indiana Jones and his dad are in the chair.
Oh, really?
And it was the funniest thing because my grandpa showed me that. He's the one that discovered it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, bro, I was like, that's so cool.
That scene itself is like really hilarious.
It is. Just the fact there was a hidden door there just by chance. And then just the fire starts and then like they're like waiting, like, okay, hopefully they don't see us. And then the one lady sees them and she's like, and then just starts shooting at them. And it's so iconic. But yeah, no, this movie was really funny too. It's definitely one of the funnier Indiana Jones movies.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like a lot of it's just Sean Connery is because he killed it on doing that. But with that, one of my favorite scenes of all time was in this movie, and it's the no ticket scene. Mm-hmm. So they're on the blimp, and the like Nazi general guy is there and discovers the dad trying to hide and be disguised. And then Indiana Jones is disguised as the ticket taker guy. And then he taps the general, and the general like slowly recognizes him, and Indiana Jones punches him, throws him at the blimp, and then everyone's like staring like, what the heck? And he goes, no ticket. And everyone's hurrying. Yeah. Like, get your ticket. And I was like, man, that's comedy gold, man.
Yeah, I love all the comedy in the movie. Especially like, so the entire tank scene, that entire scene was just a dope scene.
Oh,
like,
it was so cool.
The horses, his like backup coming.
And just the whole like fighting for the gun inside the tank and then accidentally blowing up the tank.
Yeah, and then him just hanging on top of it, just getting hit. I mean, that whole scene's great. But
and then the whole like, they're like looking down.
Yeah,
he's dead.
Yeah.
And then he just slowly like walks up behind him and he's like,
what are y'all looking at?
That's a funny thing too, is the fact the hat just like randomly shows up. It's like, bro's never gonna lose that.
Yeah. And then obviously after that big tank scene, we get right into like the ending with the Grail and everything. I love that. Like,
oh yeah,
like that was like, so after watching the Crystal Skull for my exposure to Indiana Jones, like it would just come on TV every once in a while when cable was a big thing, you know?
Yeah.
But that was always the scene where I was always like very fascinated, was when he's going through all like trying to get through all the booby traps and get to the Grail and picking the right Grail. Like that's like the Indiana Jones scene that's just like embedded in my mind. Like when I think of Indiana Jones, it's that like sequence of him going through like the floor, trying not to fall through. And then that little invisible bridge.
That one was trippy. The bridge is like...
And then the dude, like, before, like, dodging the blades or everything, and then him just choosing the right Grail when, like, the other dude did not choose the right Grail.
Yeah.
And then my dad was always like, all right, watch out for this scene. I'm like, why? Oh, you're gonna obliterate it.
He's dead. No, that was cool. Cool, and it's just like, yeah, just the Crusader being there, was really funny because it's like, he's like, why are you dressed like that?
Yeah.
You know? But then it's like slowly realizing like, oh my gosh, he has the Grail.
Yeah.
And it's real. That's a scene like, so this is something I'm still like confused about as a fan, which I could be totally wrong. And they might have like explained it in the movie at some point or explained it later, but I'm trying to figure out how the Grail works. So is it like you drink it once and then you just don't ever die? Because as a kid, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Or do you have to keep drinking it? Because Indiana Jones drank it and his dad drank it. So like...
So I think what my interpretation of like what the knight said was, I would think it's only like once, but I mean, you might get thirsty.
Yeah.
But, and then obviously you can't pass the seal.
Seal, yeah.
Yeah, so...
which maybe when they pass the seal and it breaks out, maybe then it no longer works.
Yeah, so that's what...
So maybe that's...
So that's how it works, yeah. So like, if you... So he said like, once you drink it, you have to like stay there forever.
Oh, you have to stay physically there.
You're technically like... So you're supposed to be the protector of the Grails, right? And then if someone comes in and they make it through all the paths, then they're like, all right, you got to choose a Grail, and you choose right, you take over, and if you don't, you're cooked, obviously. Yeah. But that's how I interpreted it, was like,
it's like the cost of living forever is can never leave.
And yeah, something else with the Grail. I thought it was really cool that they pointed out that it was made by a carpenter, because like I said, Chosen season 5. I kind of like after watching Chosen season 5 and then watching this, Chosen season 5 was Last Supper, so obviously the Holy Grail was in it, and man, they really show like the human side of Jesus, but obviously Jesus is 100% human, 100% man, and so with the Holy Grail, like you think it's gold and something and stuff like that because Jesus is a king, but he was also 100% human and 100% man. So, and he was a carpenter, and I liked how they pointed that out. So, like a room full of these gold grails, and like the one was the one that doesn't even look like it was supposed to be like the one. It's like the basic carpenter made grail. I thought that was something really cool.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just because that's the whole thing is like Jesus is chose the most humble profession. Yes. And he's just a humble guy, and that was really cool to like see them mirror that with the cup. Yeah.
And tell me about the ending. Like,
yeah, so I really liked it, kind of leading into that, and also like because we find out how young Indiana Jones isn't Indiana Jones. He got named after the doll. Yeah. So that was a really funny thing. It's like he goes, I really love that doll.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really funny. And the whole movie's funny. And I just like the whole closeout, the whole Western type of they ride off into the sunset and the credits just like roll.
Well, that's something too was like just in the 80s in general was cool because like that Indiana Jones movies did it, the Jurassic Park movie did it. It was just like instead of going to black and then you have just the credits rolling, it's just like the scene still goes on while the credits roll. Yeah. And that was a really cool like niche thing about the 80s that we don't really get nowadays, but I'm like, man, that would be cool if we started doing that again.
Yeah, I agree. So before we close out, Zach, what's your favorite Indiana Jones movie?
So mine's kind of more of the controversial pick. I'd say Temple of Doom is my favorite. It's definitely the most like most people's least favorite. I feel like, or like the very much like people are like not good, but I think it's really good. Plus, as a kid, like the whole like taking the hearts out of humans, like scared the crap out of me. So now it's like, man, that's crazy. Yeah, it's but, like, all right, okay, we're doing that. Yeah. Plus, we get Short Round, which is I love Short Round, dude.
Ki Kwan,
dude, he's such a good actor. Anything he's in, I'm automatically like I'm in. Yeah, like, I love it. He's just such a good spirited human being. Yeah. What about you? Which one's your favorite?
So mine was the Temple of Doom, but then I rewatched this and I was like, you know what, Last Crusade is so good, man. Like, yeah. So yeah, that'll take the prize for me. That's my favorite. And yeah, you get it.
Yeah, well, and it's just like the underrated. They're pretty underrated. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, is this the most underrated franchise?
It's definitely slept on. I feel like because like in terms of I don't know, because everyone has like a different viewpoint on like what underrated means. To me, underrated's like something's very hated on or like, just not appreciated as much. But like in the context of this, underrated being more of like unheard of. Because you've mentioned it before too, talking about like Dial of Destiny, where a lot of people didn't even know Indiana Jones movies existed till that came out. And they're like, oh. And then it's like, it's crazy. Like, how do you not know,
Exactly.
But it's very much like I guess a hidden gem of a franchise, if you will. Yeah. It's one of those that, like, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it because they're very good. Yeah. They're entertaining and they're good watch time. It'll keep you kind of engaged. And they're just very unique. Like, it's not something you get every day with these type of movies. Plus, even just, like the Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they did the iconic like swapping out the gold idol for the bag, and then the whole like boulder chase scene. It's like that's recreated in so many pop culture stuff nowadays that are referenced that like it's like how do you not know?
Yeah, I think it's definitely underrated in the fact that like I feel like people think of it in the sense of like moments instead of the sense of like the entire the entire franchise. Yeah. So like you said, everything Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then all the funny moments. But yeah, I think it's a little underrated for like franchise wise. Oh yeah, I think it is. But I think all the movies are iconic within themselves. Oh yeah, except for like the last two. But I mean, those are good, but they're definitely the different ones, the modern, I guess, ones.
Yeah, and I think that the weakness of those is just time.
Yeah.
There's more time between, so it was ultimately that's what kind of did it, but they're still good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You good?
Yeah.
All right. So y'all, we love Jesus. We love the word. Pull out my inventory.
Where did you get? I didn't realize you really did.
Y'all, we love Jesus. We love the Bible and the Word of God, and we love to share the Word at the end of each episode. So that's what I'm gonna do real quick. And we're gonna be reading out of Romans 8:18. It says, "Yet what we suffer now is nothing compared to the glory He will reveal to us later." Listen. The earth, the world sucks, right? So we're all going to suffer today, tomorrow, yesterday. We're all going to suffer, right? But God has a plan and a purpose for our lives.